It's worked so well, I'm gonna add one more. I went to the shed and took this one off where I had it, and I'm gonna put it right there and bolt it down. And this works really well. So like they say at McDonald's, I'm liking it. So I gotta get going on this, and then I guess I'll shoot a video of after it's done. But anyways, yeah, this is really cool. Milwaukee's definitely coming out with some great things to keep people organized. I had all this gear back here, and I needed to unload my truck, and it was 4 Packout containers. Just unclip and stick them in the shop. I like it. So I just wanted to show off this ruler. I had this ruler since I was in the 12th grade because I did drafting in high school. Made in Japan, super awesome. I mean, super accurate. Look at, where does it go here? One of these goes down to, here you go, 32 of an inch. Anyways, so these are 1/2 inch carriage bolts with a, this is the standard size that you use in a tripod to anchor a camera or some other piece of equipment to it. It's either a number 20 or it's a 1/4 inch. I think it's 1/4 inch. Anyways, the camera guys will know. With lock washers and nuts. All stainless steel. And including the ruler. But man, I love this ruler. It's thick. It doesn't bend super easy. They used to make really good stuff in the olden days. And now everything's just stamped out and passed off as good enough. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is position this, make sure that I'm not going to be drilling down into the bed slide. So I'm probably going to have to pull this back a little because I'm going to drill holes here. I don't want to hit anything down here. So just added safety, just in case I change my mind and go here. That should prevent me from murphying anything. And looks like I'm off angle here because this is flush, this sticks over, and this sticks in. So that would tell me I'm off angle a little bit. But you know what? I am not going to care. It's not going to hurt me. So there you go. This is phase 1. And then eventually, I promise, I'm going to put 2x8s on edge down there. Or whatever it takes to be tall enough. Whoops, can't lean on that. So that when I run plywood across, it clears the wheel well parts. Only has to clear that by like a 1/2 inch or so. And then this whole thing can slide in and out. And I'll have that vertical space at the bottom for ladders and anything long that I just want to slide under there. I'll put a middle brace also to hold the weight distribution better. But then I'll repurpose these Packout, whatever they're called. And then I'll be able to carry even more stuff. Because I'll end up having, see the space down here? I'll end up having more than that. It'll be another 3 or 4 inches taller than that open space. So I'm looking forward to it. All right. Oh, and there's only one problem. I got a leak somewhere because every time I open this, it's a little wet right here. But we're in Washington State on the west side, so it tends to be wet all the time. Enough rambling. Let's get this anchored and done. Okay, so here's a little tip. Once I got this where I wanted it, I drilled the first hole by just manually holding this. Once the hole was drilled, I shoved a bolt the other direction through here, just kind of locate it on that hole so it can't move. And then this whole thing can pivot this way, right? So then I get this where I like it. I drilled this one, drop the bolt in there, and now it can't move. So then I can drill that hole, and they'll stay. So just a quick little tip there. Like I mentioned earlier, I use just the nut on the bolt to make it get sucked up tight under there. And then what that does is give me enough threads that when I back the nut off, the lock washer will fit. And then the nut will fit. Otherwise, you can't get the nut to fit correctly. There you go. 7/16. There we go. So that one's done. So sometimes you run into a problem where the nut doesn't want to come back off. I made sure I hand put these on so that I didn't cross thread anything. But there's nothing holding that carriage head other than the square part that's embedded in the wood. And once it wallers out a hole, this thing will free spin. So I'm gonna tap this down a little bit, try and get a bite on it from underneath with some vice grips or something, and back that nut off, and then hammer it back up into the spot and fix it. Good thing I was wearing gloves. I was trying to hold it from spinning with my hand, and it spun so fast it if I didn't have these gloves on, I would have burned myself. Yep, Murphy. Yeah, Murphy's Law. Just check that out. Well, I have a new theory on why that nut would get stuck, and it's partly me choosing to use this tool. I think that the nut got superheated because it's stainless and it was on an impactor, and it got heated and the inner part of it swelled just microscopically. Because by the time I came back here with whatever I thought was going to fix it, I thought, okay, I'll just try one more time to hold the bottom and just feather the trigger in reverse, just, you know, and it came loose. I didn't do anything else. So, I mean, I could have sprayed WD-40 down in there probably, but whatever, it came out after time, so I can only assume it cooled off. So somebody smarter than me, please throw something in the comments if that's even a thing. Thanks. Yeah, let's see how this works. I'm just gonna leave my phone up here. So this is how fast it goes. You tighten it down and you tighten it back up here, or you loosen it. You ready? No, that one got hot. Okay, so that one got a little hot over there. So, bringing out the big gun. Let's see. I'm not sponsored by anybody, but I do use WD-40 for all. Man, I got all kinds of WD-40. Got the silicone-based stuff. You gotta be careful with this, because if you tip it down, it wants to come out the spray head. Whoops. Wants to come out that spray head right there. So, I guess I'm gonna have to just do it like this, old school, actually by hand. Oh, of course, always more than I need it. But that'll soak down in there, and I'll be able to back that nut off, and then I'll be able to put this remaining lock washer on there. WD-40 for the win. So, of course, I had to go tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen, tighten, loosen. And it sticks tightening for some reason, but it spins the whole bolt when it's on loosen mode. But back and forth, I could feel it tighten like one ratchet, and then it would spin and one ratchet. So every time I hit loosen, it wasn't working, and finally it just backed off. So, there you go. There's a freebie. Use this stuff all the time. Water displacement 40. And they have good stuff like if you're gonna do outdoor applications, they have silicone-based stuff, and or silicone or silica, whatever. But it's the stuff that it stays more dry, doesn't have what do you call it? Doesn't collect dust. Works really good on outdoor locks, hinges, stuff like that, doors. Huh, there you go. Free commercial. Whatever. You know what? I share what works for me. My other hammer is in my tool bag, the one I use, but I do have this one. I bought this for my son, and it's made in America, so I'll pay a premium for that. It's pretty badass. It's I like the stiletto better, but this one definitely has more weight out in the head. So I can only imagine if I was swinging the hammer for nailing, this would be an awesome hammer. All that impact weight, it'd be like a golf club. But I'm using it because my other one is with my bags, and they're all packed up, ready to go tomorrow. So, all right. So I'm kind of a tool snob. But let me just tell you, this is a Husky kit from Home Depot. And it was in the discount aisle at the end. So, you know, you save a few percent. And this has been a really handy little kit because it's got standard and metric. And then it's got all these little 1/4-inch driver heads. And all I did was I threw in this adapter here so I could drive this adapter here, and then all these little small ones can work on the impactor. And it comes with extensions. This is a good little kit. It I think one of the marketing features was how, I don't know if you can hear that, you can ratchet really fine, like almost no degrees back and forth, and get the ratchet effect. So keep your eyes out, man. Whenever you're walking around Home Depot, you got to get to those clearance aisles. Well, I just put this all to use. Came out of a crawl space. That's why this thing is all dusty. I got to tell you though, doing as-builts, this little tote, whatever this is called, I don't know the model number, man, it works good. There's lasers down in there. It can hold a notebook, all the little things you might need, pens, paper, all kinds of stuff. So anyways, I gotta go in the house now and confirm some other stuff. Make sure that what I have here is correct. Thanks for watching. So this is what I was talking about. What I really like about Milwaukee is their Packout bases can just be packed on when you need to load other things. So works out pretty good.